Hello, welcome back to Rev Endurance Sports and another edition of what is in our stand today. Today we have a bike that needs to be out today. Same day service is something I pride myself on, and so I schedule appointments, order parts if necessary, but I have everything at one time so that the bike can be serviced and out the door the same day. This way the customer, the bike rider can keep their bike until the very last minute, unless it's broken and it's not shifting or the cables are snapped or something. But they can keep the bike until the last minute, continue with their training, and then bring their bike in so I can work on it and have it out same day. This gentleman is doing a 70.3 Oceanside half Ironman, and it is this weekend, and today is Wednesday, so we have to get this bike out. Well, let's take a look what we have to do. So the gentleman has had a very recent service, and he's got new chain and new cassette, but he's still slipping. And it's generally, he says it happens mostly in the large chainring. And so here's the challenge that comes about with these types of this type of troubleshooting. It's rare that you actually have to replace chainrings. Now, what tends to happen and why a chainring may need to be replaced, and what I mean by that is typically it's the chain and the cassettes that get replaced. But if the chain is left on way too long, it'll wear too much, and then it'll wear down the chainring. Now, the funny thing is that if the chain and the chainring wear into each other, even though they're both completely out of spec, the bike will continue to shift fine. I mean, you may not notice a difference, but once you replace one of the two components, which is generally the chain, then all of a sudden it'll slip. You've got a new chain on a worn chain ring. Same thing applies for a worn cassette. Now, one of the things that I thought, just a funny aside, is that this gentleman had been to another shop, and they had told him, and here's an example of one right here. They had told him that he had some broken teeth on the chainring, and so he needed to get a new chainring. Now, there was slippage, so that was definitely a problem, and based on my troubleshooting, I do believe that the chainring is worn. But the teeth are not broken. So yes, they look differently here, but what you'll find is there's more than one, and they are kind of following a pattern where you have a smaller one and then some larger teeth with a different profile. You can notice this one's got a pointy profile and this one's more flat. And it tends to follow, if you notice right here, this is a shifting pin. And this pin here allows for a better pickup of the chain. Here's another one here, right? Pickup from the inner chainring up to the larger chainring. Now, Praxis, which is who makes these chainrings, they go into plenty of detail on their website to discuss how they've actually taken a lot of focus on the chainring profiles. So we're going to replace these with a brand new set of chainrings from Praxis, and this is a 5034 setup, and that's what we have here. So we're going to get these chainrings swapped out, make sure everything shifts properly, and this gentleman will be racing this weekend. All right, so if it's your first time here, or if you like the content, or whatever the reason is that you landed on my channel, I do appreciate that you came, and subscribe, and you can hit that little bell for notifications so that you can get notified notified when I post a new video. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're a repeat customer, if you will, I do appreciate that you keep coming back. All right, please share, comment, and I look forward to seeing you on the road.